as promised in our previous podcast video for GSoC, we have another video lined up for you today, and today we are going to discuss how to write a good proposal. But first, I would like to thank you for your engagement in our previous video. I hope it has been helpful as you navigate your GSoC journey in terms of picking an organization or a project that you'd like to work on. And now on good proposals, Jai, tell us a little bit about what we mean when we talk about a proposal and what's the aim of a proposal in the GSoC application.
When we talk about GSoC proposals, the very first thing you need to do is flip the mindset from please pick me to here's why I'm the best. Let me show you clearly, right? Because it's not about like showing off. It's about the clarity. It's about giving the mentor everything they need to confidently say yes to you, right? So you are basically giving us enough data. So a good proposal makes a mentor go, wow, I'd actually love to work with this student because we have to work with you for 12 weeks, right? So we are basically working with you. So you need to you need to give us enough data to make that decision that this is the right person to work with on this summer. So so that's the main thing that you need to think about writing a proposal, right, Beryl?
Yeah, sure. And with that, we have some resources on our wiki. We have a proposal guideline, and that is where you should ideally look at once you have maybe looked at projects and now you know what project you'd like to contribute to or apply to, then you can go to the proposal guidelines. It will just give you everything you need to know about proposals, from the timelines, from what is looked at, from what GSoC and OpenMRS expect you to have in your proposals. And with that, we'll share the link in the description of this video so that you can go at your own free time and look at it. And for OpenMRS, we also have our own template, so you don't have to start writing from scratch. We have a template that you can copy and now use it to fill in. There are some set of questions there that we'll go through right now so that you can just see what we are looking for, what questions we need you to answer, and what parts of that proposal you need to fill out before submitting it. Now, jumping onto those categories. So, Jai, kindly break down for us what these categories are.
Yeah. So Beryl, that the proposal, right? If you are watching this video, I think the proposal writing period officially began today. So the video on the day this video is published, and you have time until the 8th of April, as I can remember. So yeah, and so let's focus about like writing a good proposal, and to make this easy, let me break down into 4 categories, 4 easy categories, just 4 points. It will be about you, and the second one is the requirement, and the third one is the design, and finally implementation. Just 4 categories, and let's go one by one, right, Beryl? Shall we start with the about us section?
Yeah, so what are we looking for when we ask you questions and in the about you section? So in the about you, we just want to know you as a person. What do you do? Your background, what do you study, and what do you care about? We would like to know who is the person behind that proposal. So that will include what is your relevant experience, what is your tech stack, have you contributed to open source before, have you done similar past work, for example, have you done work related to some of the projects that you want to work on in OpenMRS? Have you done any past work in open source, let's say not GSoC, but any other programs such as GSoC? I know there are programs like Outreach, etc., who do the same thing. We also want to know your past involvement with the community. So have you done any contributions to OpenMRS? How long have you been in our community? Have you applied before to GSoC? Because some of you will be applying to GSoC for maybe the second, the third time, or the fourth time. So have you done that before? If you have worked on some issues in OpenMRS before, you can link them there, show us these are the issues I've worked on. Maybe these are the discussions that I have tackled in the community or with the mentors and some of us, so that we just get the background to now see you. We now know you, who you are, what you do, and now we can see your technical
And Beryl,
background,
like
just so that we
this
can.
is this is just a part where you can brag a little, right? Like about your experience and everything.
Yeah.
Not too much, but just enough to convince us that you are not secretly a microwave oven trying to apply for GSoC, something like that, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is where you're allowed to brag about you, your accomplishments, what you can do. And just like tell the mentor, if I am selected, this is what I can do, or this is what I have done before. So this is why you should consider me. And then what we also really look for is your motivation. There are
Mm.
numerous projects, there are numerous organizations in listed in GSoC, and you chose to apply to OpenMRS. So we would like to understand, why did you apply to OpenMRS, and why specifically this project? You might have a reason why you want to specifically work on a certain project. So that is something we would like to know. And this is because how we view our students is we would like our students to be long-term community contributors. So after GSoC, we would like you to continue contributing to the community. And that is done best when you have a motivation behind you maybe believe in the value, the vision of OpenMRS and the work we do. So that would be good to know. So tell us, what's your motivation behind selecting your
Exactly.
specific project, or why you want to work with us at OpenMRS. And after we know about you, so we will go to the next category, which is requirements. So Jay, what are we looking for in the requirements section?
Yeah. So, yeah. So now we have an idea about yourself, right? So the most important thing is very like this is each project idea is a problem that we are trying to solve at OpenMRS, right? So in order to work on that project, you need to understand what this project is about, right? So think about that like this. So say Beryl, say you are a contractor like who's building house, you have experience and you have built houses over the past years, and I need to get my new dream house built by you, and there are like some other contractors out there. So but like no matter no matter like what sort of experience you have, you need to understand what I need, right? So otherwise like you will build a palace but I really need something else. So you first need to understand what really I need, what I expect, what are my goals. So likewise, say so you are the contractor, you are the like carpenter on this project, so you need to identify what OpenMRS is trying to solve with this problem. So in the proposal, just try to describe the proposal, the goals in simple terms, and why this is important for the community. What's the bigger picture, and what's currently missing, or what's broken? What we need to get fixed, or is there any previous work, or is it completely new, or maybe like this some similar stuff is on other orgs or something like that. Or you can provide any links or any references, you can talk with people, you can like go look at the code base and get an idea. And also we tried our best to like describe our project ideas as much as we could, right, Ambere? So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
then you can like describe everything. Okay, you can lay down like these are the requirements, these are the goals, this is stuff that this expecting from this proposal, and these are the most important stuff, these are nice to have, something like that. And describe that so that we know you have a clear idea about what you are going to build, right, babe? So yeah, this
Yeah.
is very important when it comes to profile. So I've seen students like just jump to like how they implement the thing, but this is really important to get an idea about your understanding about the project.
Yeah,
So
thank you
yeah.
so much for that. And because once you understand the problem and what we are trying to do, then that's how we know that you have thought about your solution. So I'll take us through about the design. So the next phase of that proposal would be you talking about your design or your solution. So after you've told us that you now understand what you're trying to do, so you want to show us that you understand the direction of the solution, like what the solution, the bigger picture of the solution looks like. So we'd expect you to give us a high level solution idea. So how do you intend to tackle this problem that you just described? How are you seeing in those 3 months that you'd be working with us? How do you intend to work on that problem? So what are the key components that need to be there? What are the key modules that need to be there? How does it fit in the entire system? Because you might just be working on one project, but you want to see how it fits into the entire system. Does it solve a problem in a certain component in OpenMRS or a certain module in OpenMRS? So how does it fit in there? Feel free to use mockups, diagrams. I know some of us are very visual and we would maybe explain it better in form of a diagram instead of text. So if you feel like maybe describing it in form of text won't get your idea well, then this is the part where you can have your diagrams, you can have your user flow, the charts, just a simple mock-up on this is how I'm going to design the solution to fix this problem. Are there any trade-offs that you think of? Like some things the mentors have not really mentioned in the description of the problem, but as you have been exploring, you have seen some trade-offs. You've seen, oh, I think this approach is nice. Like I have researched and I've seen that this organization or this project had a similar problem and this is how they fixed it. So you
Yeah.
are bringing an alternative idea or an additional idea of like, I think if we use this idea or we use this concept, then we'll be able to fix this problem or address this solution. So that is what you expect when you're talking about design. So feel free to tell us what you have discovered while exploring. What is the solution idea? It does not have to be what you think the mentor wants. It
Yeah.
can be
And like
after
there'll be like
exploring.
several ways of like solving the same problem, right? Like the problem
Yeah,
can be similar, but there can be different ways of solving it. So we just
yeah.
provide a
So
high level idea about how you're going
yeah,
to solve, right?
yeah, give us what you have discovered. I know most of you while writing your proposals we have already played around with some bits of that problem. So you see you've tried something, it has not worked. You can also tell us, I tried this, it didn't work, so I think we should now use this
Mm.
alternative. Yeah, so give us a high level solution idea on how you're going to tackle the problem. So after you've given us the design of your solution, now we jump into how are you going to implement it or how are you going to approach it. So Jay, take us through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
implementation part.
So yeah, from that 4 steps, requirement, about you, requirement, and the design. Now we are in the implementation. So this is about like, okay, now you have an idea how to solve this thing. So this is about like your approach, like what are the this section might be like bit technical, very like so far it was not technical, right? Like we haven't like uh, didn't go any deep. But here you can say, okay, for this solution I'm planning to use these languages. Like maybe you could use JavaScript or SQL or whatever, like this type of database would suit this one, or this type of library. So you can like with reasons you can say I'm using this library because of this reason. So and there will be multiple API endpoints that you are planning to use. And maybe say you can provide a set of like example request payloads or uh, response payloads, like any technical stuff. And maybe just maybe, this is very optional, you can come up with a proof of concept, uh, sort of a demo. But this is optional, you don't have to stress on this too much, because there will be some project that can like you can just build a small part and say, I just give it a try and this is doable. You can use this library. So this small one, like you can just share a link or something to that one. And there might be some projects that you can't come up with a demo actually. So in that case, like it's okay. This will just give us an idea that your approach is doable. So yeah. And then you can talk about the timeline, right, Beryl? So
Yeah.
because this is a 3-month project, you have to do this thing in 3 months. So you need to break down your approach into smaller pieces and saying, okay, during the first week, I'm trying to complete this stuff, and on the second week, I'm trying to complete this thing and that thing. So by the first evaluation, I will have this sort of product, something like that, so that we get an idea. Okay, this student have an idea how to break down this thing, and this is something that we can do with this 12-week, like if we follow this approach. And when you're making the timeline, just be realistic. Like if your timeline says you are building an AI powered universal healthcare system in just 2 weeks, then we will probably assume that your AI is writing this proposal for you. So be realistic.
Yeah. Speaking
Yeah
of AI, Jai, tell us a bit about AI, because we know AI is a thing now and you can do a lot of
Mm.
things with AI. So while I'm writing a proposal, for example,
Mhm.
give us some insight about using AI.
Okay, using AI. So this is okay. I've seen this too much, like during last 2 years, because like before that the AI was not a thing, right? Like writing this stuff with AI. So yeah, you can use these tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude, whatever AI models that they're out there. It's okay, but to gain an understanding about the project or the requirement, or to explore multiple or approaches that you can do that. Please do that. We encourage you to like use tools, whatever the tools that you have, to get an understanding about the project and write a good proposal. But don't just go and ask ChatGPT like, okay, this is the project, write me a proposal. Then it will like try to hallucinate and like come up with some stuff that never exists. So it will be obvious. So please don't go in that direction. Use tools to get a better understanding, then write a proposal. For the grammar stuff, to like touch up, it's okay, but just don't ask the ChatGPT to write a proposal. It won't work like that way, right, Beryl? So,
Yeah.
so yeah. So we've talked about several stuff. We talk about like several sections, but remember, this doesn't have to be like different sections. Like this is there's no universal way of writing a proposal, but make sure you cover these points on your proposals. And as an example, some students like prefer having the solution and approach in a one section. That's okay. It's okay, but make sure that you communicate these stuff, the problem and the way you are going to approach and way you're going to solve the problem, in a way that is clear for us. So you are basically helping us to select you. So help us to help you. So yeah, and and also now within these days, like before submitting your final application, like you have to go to the GSoC dashboard and you can submit your application as a PDF, right? So but here at OpenMRS, we help you before, like we help you to guide a little bit as much as we can during this period by submitting a draft proposal, right? So Bill, how can we ask for a draft review?
Yeah, so some of you might be already working. If you've not started, I know some of you have already started working on your proposals, and you might require some feedback before you do the final proposal that you will upload on the site. So, in case you have a draft proposal and you'd like some input for the mentors, this is how you can go about it. In our previous video, we mentioned the platforms in which we use to communicate. So, those are the public platforms, all your mentors are there. So, feel free to tag them and ask for a review. Most projects have a primary mentor and a secondary mentor. We would recommend that you tag the both of them so that we are able to distribute the workload, because the mentors also have mostly full-time jobs or other things that they are doing. The mentor who's free will be the one who will look at your proposal and then they'll give you a review. So ensure that if your project has more than one mentor, you tag both mentors so that they'll be aware that so and so needs a review. So once you request a review, ensure that the file, whether it's a Word document, whatever you're going to use, is accessible, so that if a mentor wants to give you feedback, they don't have to request access. So ensure that they can, let's say, comment on your Word document or on your Google Doc, so that once the mentor is inside there, they can be able to just give you comments inside that document so that it's easy for you to follow along on which specific areas they had reviews for. And then you
And
can
Beryl,
use that review and, yeah, now write your final proposal.
and does this a public or private, like the
Yeah, a
proposal?
proposal is surely private because there are several people who are writing the proposal. All of you maybe want to work on the same project. So, for your intellectual property to be safe, proposals are mostly private. So, we don't expect you to come to the community and send all of us your proposal. Your draft proposal can just be for the eyes of the mentors who are working on that
Mhm.
specific project. So, make sure you're tagging the right mentor or you're reaching out to the right mentor, because each mentor has their own specific project and they know what they require for a student in that
Mhm.
project. So it's private. Also, your final proposal is also private. Once you upload it, the mentor will get to read it from there. So don't feel the pressure to show us or your proposal before then, just to so that you have your ideas in a safe place. And then you can also submit proposals for more than one project. So some of you might be multi-skilled, or there's more than one project you think you are qualified for, or you think you have skills that cut across more than one project. So if you have identified more than one project, please submit the proposal. You can be selected for either. So if you have interest in more than one project, feel free to have proposals for both projects, and then submit the proposal for both projects. And then once the mentors are reviewing, you get a chance to be selected for either.
And regarding that private proposal was private, right? But I think that's the only thing that should be private. Like, all the other discussions should be public, right? Like, if you
Yeah,
want to DM
definitely.
the mentor, just DM only about this thing.
The
Like,
proposal.
all the other discussions should be go through the public channel, right, babe?
Yeah, in the spirit of open source, we are building the open source way. So we expect some of you already have a talk on our talk. They already have the discussions to the ideas they have. So any other communication should be public apart from the proposal. So we try not to overload the mentors, because we expect you to have a delayed response from your mentors. So even if you submit your proposal, give them a few days to get back to you. And then you can also remind them a few days later, yeah, I gave you a proposal just before the deadline. We already have the timelines, when you're due to submit your proposal. So ensure that any other discussion is public, or either on Slack or Talk, all that. You can, if you have questions, they should also be public, because now your fellow students or fellow community members can be able to help or guide you in case you feel like you are stuck. But yeah, that's mostly about how to go getting a review for a proposal. If you get one review, that will be very important in helping you have a very good final proposal. And now, with that, you'll be wondering, we've talked about a lot of things in the proposal. So we have people who might think we are looking for a perfect proposal. So Jed, tell us about what should we think around the quality of our proposals.
Yeah. So we don't expect perfect proposals at all. So this is really important. Like, you don't have to like worry about submitting the perfect proposal. There's no such a thing, right? So you don't have to be a proposal. We always value potential and enthusiasm over perfect qualification and over perfect proposal. So just don't stress about that too much. Just write a proposal the way you can, and we can share some examples. Like, again, like, you can find some example proposals on the proposal guidelines page, and those proposals were the like one of the best proposals. So don't be discouraged. Like, we just shared an example. So remember, like, we are not looking for superheroes. Right? We are looking for reliable humans. So, but if you're a superhero, then that's fine. But if you're a superhero, you have to do one thing. What would be better?
Yeah, you can mention that you're superheroing about you. When you're telling us about yourself, tell us that
Yeah,
you're Batman or something like
just
that.
mention in the about you section, so that we know. Otherwise, we don't know. So that's why it's so important to share about you on that section. So yeah, we don't expect a perfect one. Just draft one as you can.
Yeah, so remember, we have the GSoC proposal guidelines on our wiki. Feel free to go to that page. You'll find all the details you need to know about your proposals. These questions that we've talked about, they are highlighted there. And as I said, OpenMRS has their own template. So we have created a template for you. Feel free to copy that template and then use it as a guide as you write your proposal. And with that, thank you so much for engaging with us. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we hope that it has been of help. So till next time. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, drop down in the comments. We would be happy to respond. Thank you so much. See you around.